All right, so here we go. This is the first hopefully helpful video for lesson 2.1, and we're on page 87 in your book. So make sure that you turn there and that you're following along so that this will make sense to you, okay? We're on page 87, and the title of the lesson is Placing the First Digit, or Place the First Digit. I put a big green question mark there because really this is the question, this is what the whole lesson is about, is where do I place my first digit in my quotient or in my answer? Okay, we're going to talk about that as we do this very first problem here. All right, so this is taken from the little real world situation that's on page 87. It talks about a little girl, well, I don't know if she's a little girl, but her name is Tania. All right, and Tania apparently has 8 flowers, and I don't know what happened, a big wind came, something like that. Okay, the wind came and blew all the petals off all 8 flowers. And then some reason she wants to know how many petals were on each of the flowers. Real world to some people. So anyway, we have on the ground 128 petals, and we have 8 little flowers without any petals on them. So the real world problem is how many petals were on each one of those 8 flowers. That's the problem. So we're given a total of 128 petals. We need to know how many were on each. This is a division problem. We already have a total, and there it is right there. We know that we have 128 little petals, and we have 8 flower stems. How many? All right, so we're dividing. Okay, so step 1 is we look at our divisor, and there is only 1 digit in the divisor. So we're going to go 1 for 1, which means 1 digit divisor. We're going to cover up all the other numbers in our dividend, and we're going to say 8 will go into 1 how many times? Well, you know that doesn't work, right? So it won't go in at all. We could put a 0 there as a placeholder, but we're 5th graders now, and I'm pretty sure you practiced that in 4th grade, so we don't need to do that, okay? If you would like to, you can. We're skipping it for our lesson today. All right, so that won't work, so we're going to move over 1 more spot, 1 more place. Now our problem is really just a simple problem that could look like this. 12 divided by 8. That's what we're looking at. So really that's kind of our problem right here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Kind of made a mess there. All right, so 8 times what would be 12, or close to 12 without going over. So 8 times 1, that's our only option. I'm going to go ahead and move this just because it's a little awkward to hang on to, but 8 times 1 is 8. So we subtract. What is 12 minus 8? That's the only problem we're doing right now. If you take your division problems and you just focus on the small problems within the problem, it'll be easy. Don't look at it as 128 divided by 8. You're not doing this in your head. You are doing it step by step with me, and then step by step on your paper as you go, okay? That's why it's really important to show your work. All right, so 8 times 1 is 8, and now 12 minus 8 is 4. Next step, bring it on down. That number right there, which is the 8, we're going to bring that on down. Now we have the same question one more time. The same question, 8 times what is going to equal 48? It may not equal 48 exactly, but it's going to be close. So let's think, just like before, this one wasn't exactly. Well, it just so happens we do have one of those fast facts that you've memorized. 8 times what? It's actually 8 times 6. So 8 times 6 is 48. When we subtract, we get 0. Easy problem, right? You're not done. Okay, now we need to always check our work. The longer the division gets, the more important it is to make sure that you check your work, okay? If you check your work in division, you will never miss a problem. It's true. You can guarantee yourself a 100% if you just do that. If you divide and then always check your work. It'll always be 100% paper for you. Keep that in mind. All right, so what do we multiply? Well, I've kind of already shown you right here. We're going to multiply 16, which is our quotient, times our divisor. 16 times 8. All right, there we go. 16 times 8. So 8 times 6 is 48, that's right. And then 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 4, 128. So right here, I have just guaranteed myself that this problem is correct. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and look at another problem. Page 89, and it's number 11. So if you have your book, make sure that you get that. Page 89, and it's number 11. All right, let's go ahead and wipe this off. Here we go. Set that a little too far away. All right. Here we go. This problem is going to be 723 divided by 7. That's our problem. 723 divided by 7. Again, we have a one-digit divisor. So with your hand, with a paper, with something, cover up the rest of the problem. One digit, one digit. All right? Will 7 go into 7? We got an easy one. Yes. So 7 times 1 is 7. And then what's the operation? Always subtract, right? We're going to always subtract below that division symbol. So here we go. Subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. Next step, bring it on down. We've got a 2 here. 7 times what is 2? Can't do it, right? If you can't do it, then 7 times 0 is 0. Okay, operation is subtraction. So what is 2 minus 0? 2. All right, well that looks very familiar, but now we can bring on down the next one. So with my arrow, make sure you use your arrows. That reminds you of making sure that you've taken care of all your places. So bring on down that 3. Now we've got a different problem. 7 times what is 23? Or close to 23 without going over. 7 times what, right here, is 23. You should be getting these down now. 7 times 3 is 21. When I subtract, what am I going to get? 2, right? A 2. 23 minus 21 is 2. So I actually have a remainder on this one of 2. Make sure you put your remainders up there, because then when you're finished with your work, you can circle this and it makes it really obvious what your answer is. Remember, division's going to get long, and I don't want to be confused by where your answer is, okay? All right, we have to check our work still. So how are we going to check our work on this one when we have a remainder? Well, same process. We're going to take this quotient times this divisor. So 103 times 7. Okay, let's multiply that. 7 times 3 is 1, plus we're going to put the 2 up there. All right, 7 times 0 is 0, plus the 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. 7 times 1 is 7. Oops, that's not right, but we're not done. Remember, we have that remainder right there. We're going to always add remainders back in. So let's do that. We're going to add now 2. Now when we add, we've got 723. Now that looks right. Now they match up and we are all set. All right? Now, it's your job to keep practicing this. So choose another 2 or 3 problems and go ahead and do those right now. Just remember, the key is step by step. And if you check your work, you're going to guarantee yourself a 100% every time.